Okay, sitting here with Mark, Mary and John at Bethany College, and we're looking at providing some videos to our students for Year 8 Mathematics, looking at statistics. We're going to collect some data in a Google form. We're going to place it into a spreadsheet. We're going to manipulate that in terms of possibly charting, but more likely looking at median, etc., and mode and mean. So if I go to create, I can create a spreadsheet, and this is a Google spreadsheet. Now, in the students' Google Drive, they have a maths folder set up, so we've been encouraging them to create the spreadsheet in their mathematics folder, so then the teacher can see that in Teacher Dashboard. So we might say, okay, colours of M and M's. And I'm going to give some explanation as to the nature of this spreadsheet. Okay, I'm highlighting here a column. Think about the Colosseum. Columns go down, and where do you sit in church? You sit in rows, so rows go across, and the intersection of a row and a column is a cell. So this is a cell. What type of data can we have in our spreadsheet? We can have categorical data, so names. So we might have M and M colours, and so we could have, things like red, blue, yellow, green. We might have, is the correct term frequency or amount? What's frequency? Okay. So you can see that as we're counting, we're going to add this particular data. So we counted 6 red ones, 10 blue ones, 3 yellow ones, and 7 green ones. Now, what sorts of mathematical functions would we like to work out? Obviously, we can change the aesthetics of this. We could make that bold. We can highlight that. We can talk about different ways to set up your spreadsheet. So we might want to work out the total. Now, how do we tell the spreadsheet that it's a formula? The spreadsheet here knows that this particular text is a label, so it aligns it to the left-hand side of the cell. The spreadsheet is also intelligent enough to realise that this is a value, so it aligns it to the right-hand side of the cell. Did you know that? There you go. So, how do we tell the spreadsheet? How do we tell the spreadsheet? How do we
fix that up for years?
So how do we tell the spreadsheet that it's now going to take on a formula? Well, the magic function is equals. And as soon as we type in equals, that tells the spreadsheet that it's a formula. Now we've got our little sigma sign up here, our functions, and these are the commonly used functions appearing here. So I could do a sum total. So we want to work out the sum total of the M&Ms in a packet. Now, what would be really interesting is that we actually test a number of boxes to see if there is the same total amount in each particular box. And if not, we might then have to, as a literacy activity, write a letter to Nestle explaining that there are inconsistencies within their distribution. Or there's too many yellow ones, so they need to think about their pick and drop. So
33 minutes from Brentford, sorry.
Now the other cool thing about...
So get some free ones out of it.
Yeah, you do. The other cool thing about spreadsheets is that it picks up patterns. So we can see we've typed in frequency box 1, and if I drag this across, look what it does. It automatically picks up that pattern. Isn't that cool? Okay, so we're going to just pop in some random numbers here. Now, I'm just not going to record this because that would be very boring viewing. So I'm going to hit Option P. So here now we've put all our values in, and we've got, see, a formula that works out the sum total of this group of cells, and this group of cells is called a cell range. So a range is specified by B, the column, number 2, so the intersection of the row and column is the cell, so B2 colon B5. So that works out the sum total of cells B2 to B5. Now, the other cool thing about spreadsheets is that if I would like to apply this formula across here, but be relative to its new location, that is pick up, rather than B2, pick up C2 to C5, D2 to D5, E2 to E5, it will automatically do that if I drag it across, like so. So that's useful. We can then perform functions like mean. Again, how do we tell the spreadsheet it's a formula? Now, interestingly, if I go to my sigma sign here, this is where we start talking about mathematical literacy. What is another word for mean? Is it average? So we can choose average. We highlight there. And so the average number of M&Ms in the packet was, or average number of colours was 6.5, and we can drag that across.